This video is going to show you how to maybe think about doing fur or hair. Will be a separate video for more like human hair, but this is my llama body, and llamas are pretty furry, pretty hairy. So I think our reaction is to always just kind of do this, to take a tool, and usually we use our pin tool. We just start scratching it. It works, but it doesn't always look great, and I think we can do better. So first of all, a variety of tools will help, meaning don't just use the same tool to do this is subtractive, right? We're cutting into it, a subtractive one. So if I use my pencil, if I use my pin tool, and maybe I even come back and use, I don't know, something different, something a little bit wider. See how this is creating more of a wide line. You'll get a variety and it won't just look scratchy. It's okay, that works. And if you're gonna do this, you always wanna think about doing it the way the hair grows. So you wouldn't go sideways on the neck. You would definitely do it thinking about, okay, the hair comes down the neck and then it kind of swoops back, or does it kind of start to fall this way? You know, what direction is your hair going? This works, it's not my favorite. Here's what I suggest instead, especially for things that have longer hair. I think it looks cool if you add a little clay on. So here's what I mean. You don't have to add each strand, like, you know, one by one by one. You could, that would take forever. But what I suggest is that you just roll up some kind of coils, different sizes. Some are fat, some are thin. And you can start to lay these down. And then what you want to do is really blend this in. And I'm using my finger, I'm using the part that's dirty here, right? Using that part of my finger to sort of blend it in, put it on, but also dragging some lines in it and letting it stay kind of, it looks kind of crusty, right? I'm letting it stay sort of textural and hairy looking to me. So if you add first, I do my additive first, then I'm going to go back and do some subtractive. Sometimes I think this is the best way to do some kind of real thick kind of fur and stuff like that. Maybe a log-haired dog or something. Now I can go back after I've done that and I can keep texturizing more if I need to with my tools, and again use a variety. So maybe I use some of these. Maybe I really don't like the pin tool. I don't ever use it. You can use a pencil, is a great one for a thinner line. And the idea is that you're using additive and subtractive to create your texture rather than just scratching into it. And you get a more three-dimensional quality, which is a little more realistic, right? And then it can be fun to transition from maybe subtractive to additive. So not in the case of my llama. Llamas have really long hair on their necks, but let's say I'm doing the face of an animal, the face of a dog or something. You can do little subtractive. Remember, if it's short hair, you're doing really little marks in the way that it would grow. So if it's growing up the nose, you do it in that direction. And then it might get larger and larger marks, meaning longer and longer hair, until I transition into long hair. So you can transition from a short hair to a long hair, and you can go from subtractive to additive, right? And it looks pretty cool. So imagine this is like around the snout of a dog and then up through the top of the head where you pet it on the ears, right? Getting longer and longer. So that's a good way to think about doing fur and hair. You can get a pretty cool stylized look if you do actual coils, but it'll look kind of, you know, it'll look kind of stylized. So meaning more cartoonish, right? And you could do a lot, almost like cornrows, you know, like you can lay them on there and do it like that if you want. That would be a really additive and more cartoony characterized look. This is a little more realistic. And if these little things bug you, as your clay dries, you'll be able to knock them off or kind of scrape them off with a tool.